should I wear to sleep tonight? This is okay.
Hey, Nancy.
What? Who are you?
You don't have to know.
Where are you?
Over here.
Where?
Over here. Want to play a game?
Nah, it's okay. What the heck? Where am I?
You are now in the realistic time period, and we will teach you various things about it. Let's start with this. So let's talk about history. The time period of realism spans from around the late 19th century to the early 20th century. The three main events in American history that triggered and affected the realistic period were the Civil War, the Reconstruction era, and the Industrial Revolution. When Confederate soldiers fired upon the Union at Fort Sumter in 1861, the Civil War officially began. The argument over slavery and secession eventually led to this outbreak. But as the war ended in 1865, the separated nation worked on reconciliation and recovery during the Reconstruction era. Rebuilding a nation that was free from slavery turned out to be a long, difficult task. The radicals in government replaced the old government almost immediately after the war in order to save the nation, but the South was reluctant to change from their pre-war status. The Industrial Revolution, most notably in the northern states, resulted in advancements in steam power, such as coal and petroleum, the textile industry, and the manufacturing industry. In addition to those advancements, the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1863 to 1869 provided a faster means of transporting goods and people across the nation. The urbanization of many cities during this era brought upon many benefits, but also created some unsatisfactory effects. The revolution heavily influenced the socio-economic and cultural situation of Americans. Many became rich and prosperous during this period, but most people had to work in factories for long days in order to support their families, themselves, and their ability to live in an urbanized area. Due to the hardships during this time period, many people turned away from fantasies and preferred actual reality, beginning to focus on common life and experiences. So Nancy, got everything so far? Because there's so much more to come.
You're insane! Wherever you are! What am I wearing?
Well, you have to look the part.
But it's like ugly.
Why, hello there. You have very beautiful fashion sense. And if I may ask, who exactly were you talking to?
You don't hear him?
Pardon me, there's no one around here. Who are you referring to?
The freaky guy in the background?
Anyways, it seems you can't comprehend your surroundings. In order to educate your possibly brainless self, I will have to show you around here and what it's like around here. During the realistic time period, we would enjoy singing war songs and hymns, such as the background music playing right now.
What the heck? This music sucks. Have you guys heard of Britney Spears or something?
No. Anyways, the reason for this is due to the fact that the Civil War was right before this time period. Also, during the Reconstruction era, there was social tension between the North and South. Art, however, was relatively uniform. A notable artist such as Colbert would draw people in their most natural state, making it more realistic.
Why are they naked?
Because he is painting them in the most realistic way, in the nude.
Oh.
An excellent example of the rhetoric of this time frame can be seen from the speeches of Abraham Lincoln.
He's on the penny. He is those.
Anyways, President Lincoln was able to relieve the social tensions remaining from the Civil War with his second inaugural. Though his words clearly had a powerful impact upon his listeners, he only spoke in monosyllabic words, making it easier for his listeners to understand, for a majority of them had little to no formal education.
Mono what?
Simple words were prominently used in order for everyone to understand each other when they spoke. But as cities became more urbanized, people started getting higher educations and therefore learned higher vocabulary. Anyways, I'm late for a women's rights convention right now, so bye.
Wait, where are you going? Hello there. What the heck? Where did you come from?
I have to help you. I'm a very busy person. I have people to meet, places to go.
I am a Wall Street journalist after all. Wait, I'm so confused. And these clothes, they're like against the law ugly. It looks as if you know nothing of our politics, though you seem very fashionable. First of all, the political understanding of our time is very unreasonable, unlike you. Even if laws are laws, they all have human roots, understand?
I guess.
No, you don't. All forms of government are man-made and thus have the essence of the human mind embedded into it. That means every nation's politics originates from a man's motives, the desire of power, you see.
So like when people want things, they make laws to get them? That's so selfish.
Something like that. Except, how would you know what a person would want? Do you even know what you want?
I want to get out of this thing.
Every civilization since the beginning of time has ruled this way, channeling the desire through governance. For example, the 17th President of the United States of America, Andrew Johnson. While Congress was on hiatus, Johnson took advantage and rushed to force his own Reconstruction policies through. He handed out thousands of pardons and allowed black codes, continuing slavery under a different name. He later tried to collect congressmen who would support his own policies. The lack of balance between his personal desires and the well-being of the nation led him to almost getting impeached. However, the struggle to keep the balance between morals and the actual success of the government often impaired decision-making process.
So it's like, what would you do for a Klondike bar, right?
I don't know what nonsense this Klondike is, but he must be adult. An idealist. Psh, a realist like myself would make decisions based not only on law, but on economics, morals, and religion. Realist politics are inclusive of all human values.
Realist. That creepy voice said something about a realist.
Enough of your nonsense. I must take my leave now. The Wall Street Journal is an up-and-coming plethora of news and knowledge.
Wait, isn't that movie with the guy from Transformers? I love Shia LaBeouf. He's so dreamy. Where'd she go? She left. I guess I should leave too.
Alright, Nancy, the next thing you need to learn is very important in understanding what people believed in. So, in order to understand how people thought at this time, you need to first understand how they looked at things. The philosophy that people lived by was more focused on existence, logic, and human conduct. First, people observed the objects that existed because if you can see, touch, taste, smell, or hear something, it exists. This gave much less susceptibility to fallacies concluded from emotions or feelings. So for example, if a realist passed by a rose, he or she would note the color, the number of petals, and the shape of the rose. No consideration would be given to if the rose was meant for a girl or if it symbolized love. No, realists would simply see things as they physically were. Secondly, realists like to look at situations through reason and logic. Because of this, many advances occurred in science and gaining more knowledge. Only through an objective viewpoint and logical reasoning could a realist come to gain more knowledge. Finally, realists viewed human conduct as an important issue in everyday life. Rationally, a realist would conclude that in order for society to function, and in order for an orderly lifestyle to exist, people must cooperate when doing actions. Thus, a widely accepted but not stated code of ethics was formed, in which realistic ideas directed decisions and actions. Emotion was not highly regarded as a credible source of information during this time. So Nancy, it seems like you learned a lot today.
Wanna go home!
Just tap your feet twice together and say there's no place like home.
Really?
No. There's still one thing you need to learn, and you have a choice on where you want to learn it and how.
Well, like, where do I have to go?
A place of information, where the species of people there are informed in all subjects, and where it smells of mold and glasses are the norm.
A library?
Sure.
What the? Where am I? Oh. Whoa, this place is huge. I haven't been here since the Gateway Free Subway. Creepy guy? Hello? Creepy guy. He's never here when I actually want to talk to him. Where am I supposed to go? Shh, be quiet. I swear I've heard that voice somewhere.
Maybe you should ask a librarian.
Welcome to the plethora of knowledge, the fountain of information, the ultimate place to learn. How can I assist you?
I don't know. Something about the realistic time period? And this creepy guy transported me here, so I don't know.
Ah, well, it so happens I have everything you need here with me. I'm glad you came to me because, you know, I have my degrees and you don't. Probably, at least. So, since you're here at the library, I'll teach you about books. So, literature at this time period focused on reason, logic, and reality. Authors would depict realistic scenes from everyday life and create stories from them. They didn't write any fantasies with dragons and fairies, but instead they focused on regular people in realistic situations.
But no fantasies? That's like so boring. I love Twilight. Team Jacob.
No. Realistic writing is actually very interesting. Writers depict characters in common situations so that everyone can relate to it and learn certain morals and life lessons that the author believes in. Have you heard of Madame Bovary?
Madame Bovary? Ew, I spark noted that last year for English, and like, she's such a slut.
It's so funny that you read. Anyway, although Madame Bovary precluded the main era, it actually held a lot of realistic ideas. And no, it's not about her being sexually active and all that. Gustave Flaubert was actually contrasting people's ideals with the reality of life.
But isn't the whole story about how Emma cheats and everything?
Yes, but it also teaches you that being unsatisfied with everything makes you live unhappily. And that's the real truth.
But what if...
Let's talk about Mark Twain. He's best known for The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn.
How adventurous.
Anyway, he used these stories and illustrated the lives of young boys in order to show topics of problems and stuff during that time period, such as xenophobia and racism.
But aren't those stories, like, kind of hard to believe?
Not exactly. I mean, the entire philosophy of the realistic time period was to, as George Howells stated, write of that which you observe and know. Meaning, write what you understand and know and have experienced firsthand. It led to the invention of the autobiographical method, a method that Twain tended to use as well. It was the invention of personal experience.
Oh, I think I get it. So people wrote their personal experiences into fiction? How cute. It's like a secret code or something.
Meanwhile, you had the emergence and rise of the empirical method. You had the publication of Darwin's works. So, science and experimentation became quickly popular and eventually it carried over into art.
I never knew I could learn so much. My brain is like heavy with knowledge now. I feel like my entire view has changed. I could write a book. You know, it just goes to show that things are never what they seem. I mean, who knew fiction could be like personal and stuff? I think this is an important lesson that...
And that's the end of today's episode of Man vs. Literary Time Period. Congratulations, Nancy. You survived by learning.
Hey, wait, I wasn't finished talking.
You're now free to go home.
Come on, not again! Ugh. Creepy guy. I have so many more questions. What would have happened if I didn't learn? Hello? Come on, guys.
Some people are just so weird nowadays.
Yeah. Hey Brian, do you want to play a game?
Uh-oh.